Okay, first item on the agenda is the closed session portion of the meeting. May I have a mover and seconder to go into closed session under the authorities printed in the agenda? Councillor Muir, Councillor Gladden, all in favor? All hands rising, motion's carried. Sorry. Okay, council approved the closed session minutes from the April 15th, 2024 council meeting. Council discussed acquisitions and dispositions of land, matters relating to identifiable individuals, legal matters under solicitor-client privilege, and employee negotiations. We didn't finish closed session, so we will be going back in after. Okay, time being 7:02, I'd like to call this meeting to order. First item on the agenda is the traditional territory acknowledgement, followed by a moment of silence. Council, the Township of Red Rock hereby acknowledges that we are on the traditional territory of the Robinson Spirit Treaty and that the land we gather on is home to the Red Rock Indian Band, the Anishinaabe, and Métis people. Administration advises that there are no amendments to the agenda. Do any members of the council wish to make amendments to the agenda? Right, seeing none. Can I have a mover and seconder to approve the agenda as presented? Councillor Brand, Councillor Muir, all in favor? Motion's carried. Okay, are there any declarations of interest to disclose? I see none. There. Tonight we have Peter Whitby joining us to discuss a proposed tax rate for new builds within the Township of Red Rock.
Perfect. So thanks for hosting me today. I just wanted to share a couple of small announcements before the request. Firstly, as far as tours in the homes in Red Rock, seen a lot of the renovations, 53, 55 Rankin, 22 Rankin. So if anybody would like a tour, we're making significant progress, especially in the new home. Please just reach out and I'm happy to take folks through. Secondly, at the mill site, the MECP has lifted the environmental order on the property. So this was posted on the fence for the last couple of years. Very impressed with our work. Kristen Braun was there today. And so just I'm very pleased to share that with the community. It's about $4 million worth of cleanup last year. So I think we should, I mean, our team's really proud of that. Thirdly, you guys might have seen the new signs on the highway for the lodge at Red Rock. The Quebec Lodge has a new name. It's the Lodge at Red Rock. We wanted to brand Red Rock. You'll see it as you turn in. So yeah, we've done some renovations, opening May 15th, and we've got Lucy, Lisa, and Mel working there, along with Emily Crack as the general manager. So 4 jobs, and it looks beautiful up there. So maybe if you'd like a tour, let me know. With that, I just wanted to, I'm here today in regards to new home construction in Red Rock. It's our mission to build 100 new homes. It started with 1. We're getting there. Beautiful family home. And so my request is that I'd like to ask council that Mark and his team could do some research and looking into the residential tax rate, whereby any new homes built in Red Rock in the community would be subject to property tax at 50% of the normal rate for a period of 5 years. For example, the current rate is 4% of assessed value. Any new homes built, the new homeowners would pay 2% for a 5-year period. This is simply to incentivize the development of new homes. For example, just to do some math here, if there was a $500,000 house built at the current tax rate, that would be $20,000 in annual taxes. So it'd be very unlikely that any family would want to pay that we would ever build the new homes. If it was at 50%, it would be $10,000, which is more palatable and would be great for the community. And obviously, if you run the math and built, 100 new homes, it would be $1 million if you built 10. So anyways, our desire is to build new homes to generate more taxes for the township. And I'd like to ask your permission for Mark's team to investigate if this is even a thing. There's a lot of communities in Ontario doing this, or well, a lot of them are doing 0%. And I felt that was inappropriate if you look at Cochrane. So that's my ask for today.
Thank you for that, and glad to see that environmental is lifted off that. So I think many people in the community are going to be pleased to hear that. That was a big concern. Congratulations on the new homes, and I do look forward to looking at that. But Councillor Gladden?
Have you received any assessment value from MPAC as yet from the new build?
No, we haven't, because the home is still not complete. So once the home's complete, then they'll come do their assessment. So it typically that happens once the building permit is completed. And in this case, it's still under a building permit. So no, we have no idea.
I know that in the city of Toronto, they give a reduced rate for multi-residential that are new builds. Just basically to encourage affordable housing. That's why they, keep it at the residential rate rather than two on the residential, like 2 times the residential rate. So I'd be curious to see what MPAC does assess. Like, even though it may cost you a lot of money to build, they look at everything in the community and they may not assess it as like 500,000, so it would be interesting to see what they will assess it as, and the taxes might not be as bad as you think. Say.
Councillor Muir?
Thanks. So Peter, I'm gonna counter offer that one. I'm thinking if you're coming to ask us for a tax break on houses, you can bring us 15 to 20 municipalities that are doing the same thing, following suit, giving us example. I don't think it's something the staff should be looking into. I think if you're going to propose there's got to be some meat and potatoes behind it. So if you can maybe provide us with some information, that's something we could look at for sure. But again, the 100 homes, again, where the 100 homes going and the plan and the 50% discount, and they did it in these municipalities successfully, then I definitely 100% for us to look at. But our staff are extremely busy right now, and that's going to take them time to do. So I definitely think that'd be something, I'd love to see that for sure if you could bring that for us.
For sure, happy to assist in research, R&D in any way we can. And, our mission is build 100. It's going to take some time. And, we have some other lots that we just finished surveying to hopefully get building permits on and build some new. But yeah, I'm happy to Google and look at some of these other examples in Ontario.
Perfect. We love pie charts and graphs.
Well, you might find some of them are at 0%. So
Any other questions or comments? Just, with what Councillor Muir has said, we do have the other potential residential development by Bruno's. So, I mean, it is an incentive, but just to download that work onto administration right now, I don't think, if the timeline is to get that information in 3 months or 6 months, like that would be the goal. Like, it's not, we'll have it 2 weeks or in 1 month. So maybe if administration wants to work with somebody, but again, the timeline to this, like to get those results for your answers and then come back to council is going to be 3 months or 6 months. Like it's not something that I don't believe administration can pull off right away, but I'm interested in it because a lot of small municipalities are offering something to get new builds to bring people in town. So it is something that maybe we should be looking at.
yeah, I'd be open to, I wouldn't say it's urgent. These homes take time to build, as you can see. So yeah, if we could put a longer timestamp on that, no problem, and happy to assist too.
Councillor Gladden?
I just commend you on all the improvements you've done over the year, with all the improvements to the duplexes and at Rankin Street especially. Seeing a big improvement, and commend you on that. And I'm I will probably take you up on the offer, looking at the lodge. I'd like to see the lodge and how it's developed, for sure.
Yeah, let me
But
know.
good
Let me
job.
know.
Good job.
Thank you.
Okay, that's it. Thank you very much. Okay, the minutes of the last regular meeting, April 15th, are at items 5.1 of the agenda. Are there any errors or omissions to note in the minutes? I have a mover and seconder to approve the minutes. Councilor Muir. Councilor Gladden. All in favor? Motion's carried. Sometimes I think I read these too fast. Right. Okay, the minutes of the last special meeting, April 25th, are at items 5.1 of the agenda. Are there any errors or omissions to note in the minutes? Okay, mover and seconder to approve the minutes. Councilor Gladden. Councilor Muir, all in favor? Motion's carried. That should have been 5.2. Okay, the first item on 6.1, discussion purposes regarding a supporting resolution from the municipality of Chatham, Kent. Do any members of council have any remarks on this item? Councilor Muir.
Yep, I fully support this. Spending second term on council, this has to change 100%. I fully support this. I'd like to put a motion on the table.
Councilor Gladden.
I agree. I just was wondering, the date on this was July 5th. I'm just wondering why we're just getting it now.
We just received this. Yeah. I think we received it as a secondary coming from Shunia is why. Yeah. Yeah, so
Okay. Okay, is there a mover and seconder for a motion to support the correspondence from municipality of Kent, Chatham, Kent, regarding changes to the Municipal Freedom of Information and Protection of Privacy Act? Councilor Muir. Councilor Gladden. All in favor? Motion's carried.
yeah, and you're right, not Shunia, but there was two other communities involved in it at the top end that supported this. So we just received this week, so that's why. It happens that like that a lot of times they'll go around, the resolutions from other communities will just kind of sift around. So I forget the other two communities, but we pulled, I mean, we left, the main one was from Chatham, Kent, and then supported by Shunia, so that's why.
Okay, next item 6.2, discussion purposes regarding a request from the Nippigan Fire Department to donate to the first annual mutual aid golf tournament. Do any members of council have any remarks on this? It's the first one. First annual mutual aid golf tournament. I actually don't have a problem supporting this with our $250. Dorian, Nippigan, Red Rock Fire Departments work for behalf on, all of the citizens. They do a great job as, they're doing training tonight. I think it's, it helps with camaraderie and all of that, just making those connections with other municipalities. Is there a motion, is there a mover and seconder for motion to approve a donation of $250 to the Nippigan Fire Department? First annual mutual aid golf tournament. Councilor Muir, Councilor Gladden. All in favor? Motion's carried. Hey, 6.4, information purposes only relating to the 2024 vegetation control program from the CP rail.
There's the
Okay.
Red Rock Fishing Game Club
Okay.
donation request, yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay. Okay. Anyone have any questions on it?
Yeah, I thought we already donated this already, for the trout derby. I thought we already,
There was a donation back a while ago. It was written as two, but it was actually they were separate. So we didn't donate to the trout derby. I forget what the actual event the ice fishing.
we
sorry.
donated, in kind to the ice fishing or money? Okay,
So this one's requesting what we normally do.
Yeah,
Year after
yeah.
year, right? So in-kind donation of the boat. They get for access to boating and all that kind of stuff,
Right.
camping. Okay, is there a mover and seconder for a motion to approve the in-kind donation to the Fish and Game Club 25th anniversary, annual trout derby? Counselor Brand, Counselor Glavin. All in favor? Motion's carried. Now CP, okay. Okay, information purposes only relating to the vegetation control program from CP Rail. Counselor Muir.
yeah, so a little different than the last one request we got from Hydro. There's no SDS sheets on this, but I mean, it says in this little bit of thing here, it says that everything's biodegradable. But it gives us no detail on what. It doesn't show us any SDS sheets like the last one had information sheets for us to review. This tells us nothing. I don't know if I trust this. Again, I don't trust
Yeah.
it.
So yeah, I mean, so noted. I think the difference in the two is that CP Rail is doing it on their property, their own, whereas Hydro One was having to cross some of our municipal property. So in this case, I mean, they're letting you know, they're providing a website and the availability to look at a detailed schedule, but not necessarily are they giving you that option to say, take option A or take option B. So
Well, you're right, because right in the end, it reminds us that it's illegal to be where they're spraying. However, they're running right beside, those rail tracks are right beside, people's farms and stuff. So again, they give us no detail and say, we're doing this. It's biodegradable. Well,
yeah, they
biodegradable,
simply
yeah.
let us know, we provide it in a council format like this, and then it gives anyone in the public the opportunity to then check out the website, look at the schedules, make inquiries that way. Not necessarily like we said, does it give us an option as a township to say, hey, we don't want you partaking in this particular.
Counselor Gladden.
I think with everything with the reduction of moisture in the ground, I think this is probably, I don't think it's a question, like they have to do it. Yes, we're gonna have some fires this year, for sure. I don't think it's a real issue.
Counselor Brand.
I think we had talked about this before and they had explained that the spray is not a big spray. It's a direct to the lines too. So it should not go on to any additional properties. And that when they cross the track or across the roadways, they stop. And they don't spray right on the road. So I don't know if that's any comfort to you or not, but.
I know we have in the past sent them a letter just saying that we don't approve of any chemical pesticides, all of that. I mean, just so they're aware that we're not comfortable if you're using those chemicals. It doesn't matter what they say, but at least we have let them know that, these products we don't agree with.
We can certainly do that and or reach out for further information as to what it, just if we wanted to reach out for further information as to what they're using. I can try. That's certainly an
I
option.
know they're coming quite shortly, but I mean, I think even just saying that, we're aware that you're going to do it, you have to do it. We just don't approve of any, toxic chemicals, that kind of stuff. But
Yeah, we've got contact information. We can do that tomorrow. That's
Yeah.
not a problem. Sure.
I think that's a good idea. Council Grant?
Would the contact information near the website be posted on our social media if any community members have questions?
Yeah, I can't see why we can't do that. We
Thank
can do
you.
that. Maybe we'll wait till see what I get further tomorrow when I reach out to them, but we can certainly do that. That's not a problem. I'll reach out tomorrow.
Okay, item 6.5, information purposes only regarding the 2024 OMPF funding allocation from the Ministry of Finance. Do any members of council have any remarks? Besides, it's not ever going up.
It stays the same, yeah. Which is actually a good thing in a way, because a lot of communities have gone down. So the fact that we're staying there is, I guess, good and bad all in the same sentence, but
Way to put a positive spin on
it's
that.
not going down, so. And what it represents is operational money, right? So it's money that we can use as general operation for the township. So I think when you add those three up, it's $637,500. That's our OMPF a lot.
Okay, next item, information purposes only relating to the minutes from the DSAB meeting, March 21st. Do any members of council have any questions? Seeing none. Information purposes only relating to the meeting minutes from the Thunder Bay District Health Unit Board meeting, March 20th. Do any members of council have any remarks? Seeing none. Information purposes only relating to the Thunder Bay District Municipal League meeting minutes on November 15th. Do any members of council have any remarks? Sound like an auctioneer. Okay, 6.9, information purposes only relating to the Thunder Bay District Municipal League. Did they do that one? No, yeah, December 16th. Do any members of council have any questions? Okay, 6.10, information purposes only relating to the 2023 financial statement from MPAC. Do any members of council have any remarks on this item? Councillor Muir?
Was this for one of their branches or?
The financial statements?
Yeah, it's like for the Thunder Bay branch.
No, it's MPAC's general statements, based on the board, I believe. So the MPAC board.
Okay. Because I just, yeah, it's just the numbers, I was confused. I thought it might have just been for a branch, but if it's for the board, I got you. It's a tough read for financial statements, I'm not gonna lie.
Any other questions, comments? Okay, next item, information purposes only relating to the April 16th meeting minutes from the top of Lake Superior Chamber of Commerce. Do members of council have any remarks on this? Seeing none. Information purposes only relating to an update from the DSAB board. Do members of council have any remarks? No. Information purposes only relating to the highway resurfacing preliminary design from the Ministry of Transportation. Any questions, comments? Yeah. Okay, information purposes only relating to the 2023 annual report from the DSAB board. DSAB looks lots of reports. Seeing none. Where am I? Okay, item 6:15, information purposes only relating to the sponsorship from the Top of Lake Superior Chamber of Commerce. Do any members of council have any remarks? Councillor Amir?
So the chamber hadn't had taken a break for a few years, I believe. I don't, I just, is every business in Red Rock automatically a member of the Chamber of Commerce, or do they have to pay a yearly fee?
There's a yearly fee for the chamber, which also pertains to us as a township. So to be a member, it's, there's, I believe it's $100. It's $100 annual fee. I also believe you're correct. They took a break. Not sure if it was COVID related or what reason they took a break, but they have been back now for, I guess this is going on to year 2.
Yeah.
So this is a request for a donation. You can see some of the documentation that goes with it. But yeah, it's for their annual awards ceremony, basically, I guess would be what their next event is and what I guess they're looking for the donation for, because we do join as a member. So we do pay a membership fee.
So that means that anybody in town can put nominee information in. We could put this out. Anybody can nominate the local business.
Yeah, so it's actually closed. So the documents were out and
They're out, okay.
they had put them out. And not necessarily is it a township role, really. It's because you don't, like, anybody can nominate, right? So I'm not sure how much documentation got out. We seem to get it quite late. And we do notice that the deadline is today. So, but when I reached back out to them, I finally got copies of this, and the issue to bring to council was for the donation to the Chamber Awards.
Did we ever get notified of the winners of last year? Like, remember we talked about it and I believe we donated and then we thought, I was under the assumption that I was going to be able to vote or I was going to be able to
Yeah,
do things.
that's,
I don't know if we got the tickets, right? If you're the $250, I think is what we did.
Yeah, so I believe it's, I mean, we get little bits of information that filter in. We don't get a lot, but I mean, I don't believe as a township, I guess as a township, we would have a membership vote because we're a member, but not necessarily, would you say individually have an opportunity to vote? I know were given tickets last year, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe one member of staff attended, but I don't have much of the winners. I don't have a real summary. It's really, there's really not much we have as a township of involvement at this point, other than being technically a member or a business within the community. I'm not even sure exactly of how many members they have. It is, like I said, trying to get off the ground again, and we get bits and pieces of information, but really only recently have we started getting a lot.
and that was kind of my thought last time too. And now I'm just looking at it. It's, tight timelines here. Typically I'd like to ask our local businesses, hey, what are your thoughts? This one's a tough one,
I guess we don't know if all the businesses in Red Rock have signed up for this since there was a costume to it, right?
Yeah, I would assume the same fee applies for a business. I would assume the $100. I'm not sure of who is a member and who isn't. There's really not a list that I can find or that I've been given.
Councilor Mayor?
Yeah, just one last comment from me, but I personally I wouldn't mind getting some more information from them on, before we make a donation. Next year, next year, maybe we say, we do silver sponsor, but definitely get more information from them. Maybe they could do a deputation and go through what they're doing, and just, at this time, I think this was a little short notice, and if the nominations are closed, we can't even nominate our local businesses. Yeah, definitely for me, I'm not for a donation for this year.
Councilor Brand?
I'm not opposed to donating. I think we did last year. But I would, like as Councilor Muir said, I'd like to have some more information. I would like to maybe see a list. And then if we do have some of our own community businesses on there, how do we go about to nominate our own businesses in our community? That's all I would ask.
Okay, so I'll bring the motion to the floor and if it passes, if not, then, okay. So is there a mover and seconder for motion to approve the sponsorship to the Lake Superior Chamber of Commerce in the amount of, I'm assuming we would do the 250. Councilor Brand. Councilor Logan. All in favor? Motion is defeated.
But want some more information. For
Right.
sure. Okay.
And I can reach out to them tomorrow to see if there's, if they're interested in coming to our, to our next council meeting as with a bit more information as well.
Okay, next item 8.1 is a report on administrative activities. Do any members of the council have any questions, or we'll let Mark go through a verbal on the discussion portion?
Yep, for sure. It's been very busy. There's been quite a bit going on in the last, since the last council meeting. We know we completed the municipal insurance renewal process. That was done at the last meeting. The closeout process on the water pollution control plant. So we're in a situation where we've got all of our final numbers in. We've got, we're not accepting any more invoices towards the project. So it's a matter of submitting all the invoices. I think we're in a really good spot there. So that project is pretty well ready. Well, it is closed from a standpoint of any additional finances going to it. There's a little bit of work left to do from the general contractor based on some deficiencies, but that's all been prearranged prior to the date of close. So that's been a very busy piece to what we've had to do in closing out that project and hopefully getting all the claims done in a timely manner on that. Weekly meetings and discussions. I think I highlighted just with the public works lead hand. I can leave that on there. And then if council wants or has any questions related to anything in the world of public works, just it's your opportunity to ask them during this report or and I can hopefully answer those questions. Budget meetings, we did spend 2 full days and more, but specifically 2 full days dedicated to budget. We're hoping to have a document to council very shortly. We're targeting or hopefully projecting the fact that we'll have a budget passed before June 1st. So we'll get that to council very shortly for discussion and presentation in open session. We all attended the NOMA conference in the city for 3 days. It was a very busy conference. It followed up with myself attending AMCTO Zone 9 conference in Thunder Bay the following week. So that's the Association of Municipalities, Clerks and Treasurers of Ontario. As Red Rock, we fit into Zone 9, which is the Northern Ontario zone. I attended the startup meeting with the other communities in the OPP detachment board discussions. We'll bring more information to council very shortly on that as well. It's a more detailed process than we thought, and it's going to take a little bit of work to put it together. But there's again, it's starting to move and heading in the right direction there. So we'll bring more information as we get it on that. I'll just keep going through the direction and updates, and then if there's any questions we can ask. Just a general reminder, the Quad Council meeting, I believe that's this week, May 13th, coming up. So following week, just a general reminder, it's at the Edge Arts Building. It's from 4 to 6. The agenda has been set for that. Town hall meeting dates, topics. I guess, generally speaking, I had sent council kind of a summary of some dates that may work. If that's the case, and I know Councillor Muir had wanted to speak to possibly inviting some stakeholders. Do you want to address that now, Gord, or?
Yeah, so definitely, I ran into one of the engineers from Rock Tech at a job fair, and asked if they would come and do a presentation for the town. I know there's a lot of questions about lithium ion, the processing. So they definitely are gonna be very open to taking questions. So I was hoping that we could do that. I know that's probably a topic on its own for an evening. But there's a lot of questions and there's a lot of information that needs to be shared out there with people. So I forward you the information for that, the contact there, but definitely would hope that we could have a town hall with regard to that. So it's on the public record through the township, everything. So all the questions and everything and answers are documented.
So we can, I'll go through some potential dates or dates that we had, and then we can kind of see if that's what we want for topics. But I came up with a few dates that worked internally as well as hopefully for council. Of course, these are just suggestion dates, but whether it was Thursday, June 6th, Thursday, June 13th, or Thursday, June 24th, if any of those dates would work, I think that would give us plenty of time to. Sorry, it's a Monday. You're correct. So Thursdays, the first two dates are Thursdays. The third date is a Monday, correct? So that's, I'm not sure if we wanted to set a date, and then we can work on topics, or agenda or suggestions after that. But, I mean, if we wanted to set a date, we could at least get, internally start working on planning that, if any of those dates work for council.
Counselor Glenn.
I would entertain the 24th of June because council's the 3rd and the 17th. So it would give enough time to get topics together. And as far as Gord's suggestion, I think Rock Tech deserves its own night. Yeah, for sure.
Counselor Gladden. Counselor Brandt.
The only thing with the 24th, my concern is that's bingo night. So we would have limited people. Would there be any like thing on, say, on the 27th, and then that would give admin more time as well? Or the 25th, 26th, that week? Could we potentially look at something in that week?
Well, I guess we could look at multiple options. We'd kind of run a few of those dates around.
I would have to chair the meeting, so that's why those dates were given. I did forget about bingo, so my only concern is in our procedure bylaw, we're entitled to 2 public meetings a year. And it's like delegation, so it's like anybody else, like if Peter was here tonight. So if people, either we set the topics and then we have a certain amount of people that come up and they have 10 minutes to speak. We reply back, that type of thing, or they can apply. Send in that I would like to speak and your topic that you'd like to speak about. So then we're aware of what it is because, and then what do we set that as? They get 10 minutes, we respond 10 minutes. If that's 6 people, that's 2 hours right there. Right? Or, so when we're setting rules, like it has to be, because the meeting, it is a public meeting, but it is a meeting of council. So they do have to follow all of those rules, right? So, I'm just letting the rest of council know that, you know, it might be better middle of the month or end of the month. But to give people time if they want to speak to council on whatever topic that they need to provide, they have to provide that to the town office first. Just taxes, garbage, whatever it is. But if there's multiple people at taxes, you can only speak to something that's different than the other person. And again, it's all in our procedural bylaw meetings. Councilor Brand.
Just want to touch on something you said about taxes, but I understand you can't necessarily say, you know, if the question came to us, you can't necessarily say why my taxes, if I say my taxes are too high, but you could explain that this is what your taxes go towards in a general sense for all taxpayers, right?
I would assume so, because you, like, we're not going to speak on behalf of somebody else's taxes or compare them to other people. It would be specific to them. But again, if they want their information out in public, if they want to speak about it, but it's in general, what do your taxes go to, or how does it break up, or, I think that's, yeah.
And then, I know at the last meeting, Councillor Gladden had asked why, like, because I had said, well, what about June? And so like, it doesn't have to be this quickly. We would agree that if we needed more time for administration or for other dates, that would be fine. My other suggestion would be, you had said 10 minutes. To me, 10 minutes is a long time for a person to, I say, you come up with your question, you say your question, and then allow council to, or admin to respond to it, and then we move on to the next person. So I'm thinking like even like a 5-minute thing, if, or less even.
I'm just going with what's in our meeting minutes. We can extend it or we can shorten it. So, again, it's like a delegation, right? So it's not just open forum. Do you want 10 people, 15 people? You get 5 minutes. We get 10 minutes to reply, and then you move on.
Yeah, I'm okay with the 5-minute thing. I just thought too, because our bylaw, based on our bylaw. I was always curious why people didn't come to bring delegations more and more. I mean, because we accept them normally, and that's another thing too. I don't know if people know, just if you've got questions, come delegation, come to council too. You don't have to wait for a public meeting. You can always come. Everything's televised and recorded. But definitely if maybe we look at seeing if we can get that Rock Tech one for June and then do what we gotta do. Because again, it's I don't know, well, whatever. I'm fine with whatever, because again, you're chairing the meeting, so you gotta go based on your availability.
Yeah, and we just picked June. I mean, I guess that was the general discussion. Look, we can, I mean, as directed, we can reach out to Rock Tech. I mean, I had lunch with Rock Tech officials last week. I didn't mention them coming, but I can certainly do that. And maybe it does work better in July, because technically we only have one council meeting in July and August too, right? So, I mean, it might work better in our schedule, so we can look at those dates as well. But I can certainly look at Rock Tech for some kind of a community kind of engagement session in June based around those dates. I will try to avoid the Monday then, if it does make sense with bingo. Then I never really thought about that from a public, I mean, I know our council meetings are on Monday, but when you look at a public session, yeah, that would affect it for sure. So maybe I can reach out to Rock Tech based on June 5th, or sorry, June 6th or 13th to see if that works. And then work on a date and bring that back for July. Based on our schedule, so.
Yeah, and then if we can give the community a month, if they decide that they want to do a delegation. Again, specific what the rules are, right? Like how you have to submit it, just basic what you want to talk about. Just so we're aware, and then we're prepared to answer any questions that they have.
You know, I think that's a great idea, because then it gives us the ability to provide them information, because there's nothing worse than getting a question on the fly at an open session, and we wouldn't have I mean, we may have a theory on it, but I mean, it's to have detailed information based on the question. I mean, and let's be honest, those questions probably are related to taxation, et cetera, things like that. So at least we could then, as administration, work on those questions and provide what I think would be valid answers and hopefully answer the questions, because again, we're not, I mean, we're a transparent group. We want to get that information out. If there's questions, then we want to try to answer them to the best of our ability, not just say, well, your taxes aren't too high, or et cetera, et cetera. If there's information we can gather. So I'll reach out to Rock Tech, see if they have an interest based on that, and we'll work on some dates for July.
Councillor Brand?
We would hold this at the Legion, correct?
Yeah, we can hold it
Yeah.
wherever.
And I think the Rock Tech idea is good. I think that'll reduce some of the questions that will probably come to the town hall meeting.
I think that's gonna be a lot of.
Yeah, and I think, and just my opinion on the deputations, I think even when community members have question, it's a little intimidating to come down here alone, you know, and ask questions where, or do a presentation, whereas when you're with a group, I think people feel more comfortable that they're able to ask questions. So that might be why we don't see deputations as often as we would.
Okay, no, that's, and I mean, just on a, I know there's an open public session this upcoming week at the Red Rock Indian Band. The message I was given was that it's for band members only. I did reach out to that, and the official message I got from BMI, who's hosting the event, is that it's for band members only. So that is the actual official information I got. So if that's different, I don't know, but I was told that it's not open. It's open to band members only. So yeah. Yeah. But again, I got that directly from BMI. So I'm not sure the next one. I'm not sure if there was a little confusion on this. I'm not sure if Councillor Brown wants to speak to this or on the discussion piece with Councillor Brand. If you'd like to, that's if not, then I think we can move on that. But yeah. So then the next one would be the NWMO discussion. So we did meet with NWMO mayor and deputy mayor and myself based on a resolution that was passed by the Township of Red Rock for We Free. I think it's called We Free the Nuclear North, I believe. So NWMO right away reached out to myself, wanted to have a brief discussion. So what they want and what they're requesting, and maybe Councillor Muir or Mayor Robinson could speak to it, but one of their main requests was that to see if we're still interested in having the display unit in Red Rock. They proposed some dates. Once we got down to narrowing them down with them, it looks like potential dates that we could schedule them would be June 24th or June 27th. So not really a huge role for council, more just they would set up, say, for example, at the recreation center parking lot or something, and they would have that display unit in Red Rock for everyone to view. So it's a transportation model. And just, I guess, looking for the direction from council that that's something we still want to do, bringing them in, and I can make those arrangements with them.
Councillor Muir.
Yeah, definitely. I think if we can advertise that, have people go down. I know when the presentation was happening here a while back, I did communicate to them that there wasn't a lot of faith in the way the presentation was handled, because the answer we did get was, oh, no, it won't break. It was designed not to break. So meeting with them, I am a lot more comfortable with the process and the timelines. And I definitely would hope that people take the time and go down and look at the actual units and how they're made. So they're doing that. They're going to bring it to us. And again, it's if it is successful into Ignace, it's billions of dollars that are going to be generated in the north. So it's definitely something to look at.
Councillor Gladden.
So this would be during the day, correct?
Yeah, I believe they would come into the community, say either the evening before or the morning, and they would just run displays throughout the day for anyone who any one of our residents that want to have a look at what they're doing.
Would the high schools still be open then? 24th of June? Because I mean, they're kind of our future, right? So it'd be kind of a good experience for the high schools to be involved to just see what it's all about.
Yeah, and they're giving you dates because they're coordinating a tour through the north, right? So they're giving you certain dates. That would be those are kind of they're also available September, into September as well if we wanted to catch the high school. We could easily there's a couple of dates, September 13th or 14th. We could go that route as well. I mean, it's totally up to council. I could give them a call tomorrow and secure whatever one of those dates we choose.
Do you think it's going to depend on the decision that Ignace made?
I think that'll play a big factor. I'm not sure I think they're committing to a decision by the end of the year, right? Is what they said. So I think that's what they said that day. So certainly it's huge. If it is built in Ignace, then it directly affects us transportation wise in a way. If it doesn't, if it's in South Bruce, then it's kind of a moot point for us here in the north. But I don't think either of these dates would be ahead of their decision though.
So I think I would lean more to September than if, what Nancy suggested, the kids of the future or that's who this project is really going to, not just affect us, but next generation, right? So I don't think you'll get a lot of students June 24th or 27th, but if it's here during the day in September, maybe the schools with notice, they
Well-
can send their classes down.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. We can even coordinate with the schools. We've been working, I know, we've had a few events in the last little bit coordinated with the schools. So that's a great idea. We can incorporate it into the schools and bringing from all ages, even into the elementary, because it is important. So I'll reach out to them for September then if that's where we want to go. Okay. Save the date. It looks like this is going to happen. We're not projecting a major winter storm this time, but Minister Haidu is very eager to come to Red Rock and have a look at our infrastructure, whether we do that in a structure of a council meeting or whether we just have Minister Haidu in town. We tour her, myself and the mayor, for example, or whatever. I think if we're going to do it as a council and it is 1 p.m. though, so I'm not sure that works for everyone, but if we are, just remembering that we do it in a council meeting setting and that's working around her schedule. So what we've reached out to her now to come in to look at some of our infrastructure, most notably our bridge. So we can at least give Minister Haidu a version of what we need from a federal funding perspective. So keep that date. We can certainly do it as a council meeting. All we would have to do is, open and close a meeting and then take Minister Haidu on a tour. But council can let myself or Whitney know as soon as you can so that we can make plans related to that. Next up is the AMO conference they just one ends and they start hitting you with the next one. So notably, I did get delegation opening requests today. So I believe June 6th is the deadline for delegations. So it's one of those things that if we want to go as a municipality, it's there. We got a little bit of time to think about that, but if anyone's interested in that, that's August 18th to the 21st. This is probably AMO is usually the biggest conference, the biggest municipal conference, Association of Municipalities of Ontario. So it does usually draw most of the ministers. So we've got some ongoing topics there. And really, we've got staff training development this week coming up. So the main office will be closed for a couple of days going through that. And then we brought back just as a general discussion, direction, speed of travel again, Red Rock streets most notably, we had talked about White Boulevard last year. And if council was still wanting us to look at that, we did price out some what in essence are speed bumps along the road. They're I believe about $1,000 for 4. Some people swear by them. Some people say never put a speed bump down. It doesn't do anything. Maybe go to a traffic sign that shows you your speed. I guess we're just with the direction. We'll look at all options again. I don't think the speed bumps are something that would they'd be a seasonal option for sure.
Councilor Muir?
Yeah, there's definitely people still ripping down that street and there's a lot of kids on that street. So whatever means necessary, I think at this point, Councilor Smith lives on that street and both, his neighbor, they have young kids and, yeah, there's people flying through there. So
Nancy and I had a good viewing of those, portable removable speed bumps or seasonal speed bumps.
Mhm.
So, we actually, at AMA last year, so, we thought they were actually pretty great. So they're removed in the winter time and,
Yeah, I know in some of the subdivisions in the city, they have kind of speed. They're not really bumps, but they're the directional, I guess, almost like inflatables that slow you down there and make you kind of go through a smaller area. So I guess the general is we want to still look at something for speed. And I guess White Boulevard would be the main, okay. No, we can definitely look. And like I said, I know the speed bumps priced out last year at the end of the year were around $1,000 and that was, I think, 4. And really, unless there's any other questions, I'll continue to work on that item, but I don't really have any other questions other than, if you could, let Whitney, know at the office on your availability for Minister Haidu and I guess, thoughts on the AMO conference. That would be great because we would we'll start having to work on the delegations, in the near future. So, and that's all I have for that report.
any questions on the report? Okay, is there a mover and seconder to receive the report? Counselor Brand, Counselor Gladden, all in favor? Motion's carried. Okay, next item, report of the declaration of surplus property. Do any members of council have any questions? This is relating to last meeting. Right, we declared it surplus, so now.
Yeah, it's the final step. So once we've taken step 1, which was the vesting, we've written off the taxes that were associated. This is the final step that allows us to deem it surplus. And as early as tomorrow, with the resolution passed, we can officially list that property for sale if that's, I think that's where we've led to with steps 1 and 2. So this is just the final piece.
Yeah, sorry, I meant to say we vested it last meeting, so now it's up to.
Yeah, vested a couple of meetings ago, wrote off the taxes last meeting, and in that number, like I said, is costs as well. We had to knock that building down based on an order, so now we can surplus it and sell it. Yeah.
Okay, is there a mover and seconder for motion to declare the property known as 419 Highway 628 as surplus? Counselor Gladden, Counselor Muir, all in favor? Motion's carried. Okay, so because we didn't finish in camera, we're gonna go back into closed session under the authorities as printed in the agenda. And I have a mover and seconder for motion to go back into closed session. Counselor Muir, Counselor Gladden, all in favor? Motion's carried. Time being 8 p.m. Yep. So rising from closed session, discussed, what am I saying? Identifiable individuals, solicitor, client privilege, maybe. That was it. I did notice that I missed unfinished business, with EMS consolidation, OPP detachment. We did just learn that, there's gonna be some training for Councilor Muir and that the meetings are gonna be starting, so. That's it. So is there, the bylaw to confirm proceedings of council? May I have a mover and seconder to pass the bylaw? Councilor Muir, Councilor Gladden, all in favor? Motion's carried. Okay, next scheduled meeting is May 21st, time being 8:16. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you.